Hi guys, and welcome back to Chelsea Fans TV. My name is Michelle.
And my name is Nina. Welcome back to Carefree Queens, guys. We hope that everyone is having a good day, enjoying summer if you are anywhere around where we are, because it's so hot at the moment.
It's
And
ridiculous.
yeah, and of course, enjoying international break as we take some days off from watching Chelsea. And we always say that we miss it, but then when we get beaten by Nottingham Forest, it almost just seems like a good time to get some time away from that, refresh, rejuvenate, and then just go again because not the greatest performance or result, but I personally have moved on from it. Michelle, I don't know about you, but how are you feeling in regards to
It's haunting
Chelsea?
me. It's haunting me because I know so many other people who are supporting different clubs in Premier League. Yeah, it's haunting me.
Fair enough. And I know there's a lot of negativity kind of circling around like social media at the moment, and there just seems to be so much negativity in our fan base, which I don't agree with. Like I think it's too early to be this negative,
Mm.
and I just refuse to go back to the lows that we hit last season in terms of how I feel about Chelsea. So I'm gonna be delusionally optimistic until, I'm given serious reason not to be. But for me, right now, if you've watched the videos that I've made in the last couple of days, I choose positivity and I choose to believe that
Mm.
there is a project here. So, Michelle and I today, guys, for a change, want to make this video a little bit different and a little bit more positive. And so, we're going to play a game, which I'm going to introduce to you shortly, but stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss it. But before we get into the game, we do have to address a serious, actually, issue. And that is the injury of Romeo Lavia, who we have not even seen play in a Chelsea shirt. Yeah. Michelle, what's going on at Chelsea in our injuries?
I don't know. I think we're born under an unlucky star, not a lucky star. I think we briefly talked about this last episode as well that surely it cannot continue to be just bad luck.
Mm.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know enough to say, well, we need to look at this, we need to look at this. But I surely there's something wrong with our health apartment staff that
Mm.
should be looked at because we have many injuries and we had many injuries last season as well. And we had many injuries. It's just common for us to be like, oh yeah, sure, of course, another injury. Even national break when you go into the players' comic section uh, after they post something from their country, they'd be like, everyone's like, please be careful, don't catch up an injury. It's just it's getting ridiculous, to be honest.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that we're 4 games in and we've basically consistently picked up an injury in every week, not just a game,
Yeah,
but in training as
yeah.
well. It's just so horrendous. And people are saying, oh, you've spent this much amount of money. Half the money that we've spent currently is in the medical room. Do you know what I mean? Like half of the
Yeah.
players that we brought in are literally injured and are not playing at the moment.
Mm.
So yeah, of course it's a setback. And it's almost like deja vu to last season where around kind of again international break where players went off to the World Cup, we had a list of about 11 players, literally a whole starting 11 of
Yeah.
players injured. And that was basically something around the same, minus maybe one or two players. It's such an extensive list. But yeah, that's the only negative thing that we're going to say in this video. Wish Lavia a speedy recovery and can't wait for him to come back stronger. And let's just hope that by the time he gets back in, we've addressed a lot of the issues within the squad at the moment. Players kind of settle in and are gelled together, and we have a bit more of a system going. So when he comes in, it's a lot easier for him to adjust, settle in. Let's look at it that way. There we go. Always positive, Michelle. Anyways, guys, so like I said, instead of sitting here today and talking about how negatively Chelsea have started out and that we've got, 4 points out of 4 games and it's not been the greatest start, and like you said, not kicking off as good as other clubs have been. So yeah, instead of kind of dwelling on that, we're going to play a game called Choose or
Snooze us.
Snooze. Okay, yeah, we haven't practiced that quite quite well yet, but it's a game that we came up with to basically build essentially a starting 11, an improved starting 11 from the one that we've seen in the previous fixture. And the rules are basically choose a player in that position or snooze in terms of benching him and playing him in another game. So yeah, essentially like choose or drop, but just came up with a more creative name for it, we like to think. So we're trying it out in this video. If you enjoy it though, let us know in the comments. We can make this a thing in Carefree Queens, a repeated kind of game, but I thought it might be good to switch it up a little bit. And yeah, so let us know your thoughts. But we're going to start back to front. And also, guys, how you can get involved in this game, because Michelle and I are going to have a discussion which player we would prefer to start in that position. We're going to try and come to a unanimous agreement. But if we struggle, we're going to leave it to you. So you guys can let us know your thoughts as well. What player you'd start in that position, if you agree or disagree with one of our choices, whatever it may be. You guys also have the freedom. Michelle, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So one thing that we are choosing already unanimously, Michelle, is that Ben Chilwell is not going to be on the left wing, right? You with me? Cool. Good. We're gonna be just fine. Let's see if we can do this before my battery dies. That would be great. Right, so we're gonna start off back to front. So with obviously our goalkeeper. At the moment, it's been Sanchez since the start of the season. Obviously a new transfer from Brighton. Not played much football really, and not had perhaps the best reputation as a goalie for himself, but Kepa's off on loan, Sanchez straight back in there, and yeah, so Sanchez has been starting, but we have also brought in a new goalkeeper from all the way the other side of the world, and it is Petrovic. So we haven't seen him play yet, Michelle, so it's hard to judge, but we're still going to go choose or snooze, Sanchez and Petrovic.
I say choose Petrovic and snooze Sanchez purely because it's a new. I consider Bournemouth a worse side than us, and I think we brought in a class keeper, so might as well just give him a chance, see what he can do. He can't get much worse than Nottingham Forest, so I say take a chance on him and see what he can do.
I'm
This
with
is
you
not
on that.
me. Sorry?
I'm with you on that. Yeah, continue.
This is not me saying that. I've actually been rather pleased with Sanchez. I don't know if I'm being delusional, but I don't have that much criticism for him as others might have. But yeah, yeah. But I'd definitely go with Petrovic.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And that's because I have criticized Sanchez. And it's not because he's been awful and I don't believe in him. No, I just think there is room in that game to try out Petrovic. Could be controversial. But, you know, for me, Sanchez isn't exactly going off the back of 4 clean sheets and a fantastic goalkeeping performance. So I would actually rather, yeah, like you said, throw in Petrovic there and see how he does. Maybe it is too early. Maybe 4 games in isn't where you make experiments and start a goalie that you've never played before, especially when you're going away. I think Bournemouth is a difficult away day, in my opinion, even though we won there last season, funnily enough. I still think that maybe we are taking a bit of a risk on this one, but hey-ho, let's go. Petrovic starts. Okay.
Oh, hey-ho, let's go. Well, okay.
Right, Michelle, we're going to go left back because I think we are going to go for a back 4. I think, yeah. Back 4. If we go left to right, so we're starting, and we've now got obviously Ben Chilwell, who's our vice captain, Ben Chilwell. And then we've also got Cucurella, who there was talks around him going to Man United. That was kind of put on hold. We couldn't really push that signing to them there. But who are you choosing and who are you snoozing? We could actually even bring Maatsen into this, but I would push Maatsen a little bit further up, I think. Yeah. But let's put him in there as well. I'm throwing him in there as well as a left back.
Right, so who do you got in there? Maatsen,
Chile, and Cucurella. Who are you going with?
Yeah, well, Chile any day, to be honest. Yeah. I'm not gonna... I liked how Cucurella and Chile worked together, but I feel like Cucurella should be able to be independent, and I feel like he's dependent on Ben. As in, he's not performing unless he's backed by Ben.
They've done well in the back three, but I think that we're kind of moving away from that a little bit, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think he plays better in a back three than he does in a back four.
At least in our lineup, it's going to be a 4-3-3, so it wouldn't make sense for me to put Cucurella in there because he would be dependent on someone in front of him.
And I don't think he's reliable. Just period. Just period.
Yeah.
Right, we're going Chile left back, and I think that he has enjoyed a lot of criticism, but I don't think that's his fault. He has been played out of position, not been as confident up front, and frankly, you know, that's it's not his position. So yes, he is good defensively, but equally, I think Chile will get the best out of Chile if he is in that position there, and he brings experience in that position there. So I think we agree.
And even though we put him there, doesn't mean he won't be able to contribute with our defense, our offense side as well, because I fully expect us to push a lot and be very offensive. So naturally hopefully we will see Chile with those hammer balls towards the goal. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do the pairing of the centre-backs together. So I'm going to give you two pairings.
Well, do I even need to say anything?
Well, actually, funnily enough, I'm seeing people being negative towards Thiago Silva now.
Yeah, I know, and I'm very, very much against it.
Why don't you turn around, Michelle, and show them who's on your back?
Wait, no, I can do it like this instead.
Okay, guys. Wow, Michelle, there you go.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, and it's even nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, you don't put disrespect on his name. That's how I feel.
Backing my guy.
Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna ever disrespect him.
Absolutely.
A guy this is not turning into I'd pick Thiago any day.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Absolutely. And I just think that even though, he didn't play his best game, I think what Thiago Silva has done has been beyond appreciation. He's just been world class. And how are you seriously pointing a finger after one poor game where everyone underperformed, really? And he's got the toughest job at the end of the day. He's actually twice the age of all his players. So I heard somebody say that Thiago Silva is like that dad who had kids with a lot of ladies and is now looking after them all on the pitch. And how many players did he settle into the squad? Because, like we said, settled in Badia Shaw when he played, settled in Disasi as well, who's has decent time, and Levi Cole as well. So you can pair him up with anyone there at the back, and he's done a good job, in my opinion. So I'm going to say, are you choosing or snoozing having Colwill and Thiago Silva there as a pair, or Colwill and Disasi there as a pair? Who are you choosing and who are you snoozing?
Wait, you lost me.
Levi Colwill and Thiago Silva, or Levi Colwill and Axel Disasi?
Well, I'm not snoozing Thiago. I'm choosing Thiago.
So we're going with Colwill and Thiago Silva at the back.
Yeah.
Centre back. Perfect. Yeah. Unanimously agree, guys. Let us know in the comments if you're dropping Thiago Silva. I think in a game like this, especially.
I'm come after you if you are.
Huh?
I'm going to be a keyboard warrior if you're going to.
Yeah. You're such a represent now of Silva, and that's how it should be. Absolutely. Right, Michelle, we're moving into our right back position.
Yes.
So we've had Malo Gusto play some, in my opinion, really good, solid games. Yeah, maybe one-on-one when he does get to sort of the opponent's box. Maybe he doesn't put in a cross as good as Reece James or as strong as Reece James, doesn't take on players as well as he does and gets pushed off the ball a little bit easier. But equally, I think he's done a pretty decent job, and he does try and look forwards more than he does backwards, and he can only grow into that position. He's very raw, and obviously he's only getting the opportunity now because Reece is out, and we're trying to flesh out the best we can. I mean, Malo Gusto was brought in because he was seen as someone that could be equally as fitting to fit in the boots of Reece one day and take on that role, because we know he's injury prone. So are you comfortable going Malo Gusto right back?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I feel like he did have some unfortunate incidents during his games.
Well, you ain't got much choice there.
No, but I'm actually looking a little bit at Trevicello.
But he's injured.
Is he actually? I thought he was just taking off. Oh, okay, well, damn. Okay, well, no, let's go with him then.
Hence why we don't have a choose or snooze for this position. Yeah, so it's just choose or choose. Malo Gusto, right back. There we go. There you have it. Cool. So we've built our back line. We've got Chile, we've got Colwill, we've got Thiago Silva, and Malo Gusto. And of course, I think we're moving into midfield with the pretty much, again, unanimous 3 that we're putting in there. And that's obviously, I think, Caicedo, Enzo, and Gallagher. I mean, who else is there? Yeah, maybe like Leslie Ugachukwu could potentially be brought on, but I don't think he starts. I think we're going to go with a tested midfield there that we are, and I don't think Pochettino is going to be too experimental with that. And, you know, especially because we are absolutely chasing 3 points in that game, no doubt, like no questions asked. You want to kind of get that trio there working together, getting used to each other as well. So I suppose I'm not really giving you a choose or snooze unless you do want to
that makes sense. That makes sense. Don't know, but it's just injury list again. I would have loved to see Carney, but I mean, it's not an option. But
and I think that really just does transform the formation as well, because Carney like can slot in and change up the formation for him to be that playmaker role and that number 10, and then, you know, maybe we do play with 2 and then Carney just in front, and obviously, I don't know, put a winger and then 2 wingers, Jackson up top, different formation. But right now we can't really go with that. So yeah, cool. So we're playing Enzo, Caicedo, Gallagher. Right. Moving into it's going quickly though. I like this. We're agreeing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing right now. We're not exactly spoiled for choice, but at the same time, you want to see some consistency. So we're not going to aimlessly rotate. You know, it is what it is, and we've got to get these players used to playing with each other. Right. So Michelle, moving into our front 3.
Oh, we have so many here.
So many here you can play on the left or the right, but let's leave those 2 positions for a sec and let's go up top. Who's going up top? Because
Jackson without doubt.
Again, I would love to choose and snooze, but Roy is injured. Nicholas Jackson is building on a run of games. So yeah, I think it's a choose or choose here. Nicholas Jackson starts up top.
But let's emphasize a little bit. I actually think I would have chosen him anyway. Because he's so smart with it. Really, he runs in the right spaces, and he seems like someone who's actually hungry to prove himself. So I would have honestly, I would have chosen him, even though that was other options.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like I said, I don't even see the good in rotating players right now. I'd rather Poch sticks with, obviously, bar the playing Chile as a left wing. I'd rather he sticks with those choices and plays these players consistently, not making too many changes, bar where there is an injury in the squad, like he has done, you know, repeatedly. The squad didn't really change up until that Wimbledon game, and you know, it's working because they're getting used to each other, and that is the whole point. There's no good in dropping players now and making these really weird aimless rotations. I'd like to see some consistency. So yeah, continue trying out these players. Right, where we are a little bit spoiled for choice and we are going to choose and snooze. So we've got, obviously, Noni Madueke available now. We've got Raheem Sterling, who's building on some really good games. I'd say he's a player that has really impacted our performances in a bright way. Had a fantastic goal as well against Luton, 2 even. And I think Sterling is really on a rise from last season. So, you know, for him, it's probably inarguable that we can now actually use his experience in games like this and use his expertise. So I think that's obviously interesting. Would you choose or snooze Sterling in this game? Because yes, you want to go for experience, absolutely. But we've also been saying we're advocating for Mudryk and Noni Madueke to get playing time. And now we've also obviously got Cole Palmer in the equation as well. But for me, I snooze Cole Palmer for the reason being that He's just come in. Yeah, okay, he had a decent performance. He did all right when he came on, obviously against Forest, but that's not really a reason for me to start him straight away. I'd rather, like I said, continue with the players that we've already seen are bringing in or barely getting runs of games like Madueke and Mudryk, and obviously Sterling in good games, and leaving Palmer for maybe like a super sub role, or kind of to integrate him slower, but later on. I don't think Cole Palmer starts against Bournemouth.
Yeah, I very much agree with that. I've been very happy with what Sterling has contributed with, but it's just there's no way I'm gonna choose him over these two youngsters because I want them so badly to succeed. I want to build on that confidence. I want to show Mudryk that he is the servant because of all the hard work he puts in, because of there's no, it's gonna be Mudryk and Madueke for me, and I'm gonna snooze Sterling. Also because this game, I feel like, I get your point of view where you don't want to experiment too much, but
also
at the end of the day, they are considered a lower side. So
I get your reasoning. I think that's a valid point. I mean, Raz's experience is going to be no doubt needed in a game like this. And like I said, I don't really look at any game now and say it's easy, believe it or not. I don't look at a game and say, 3 points, because we're just not there right now. And for me, every game is obviously as important. You take seriously, and I think Raz's experience would be much appreciated there. And obviously, he is in good form, so I say, absolutely maximize that. So it's a bit of a tricky one, but then again, we are big advocates for Mudryk and Madueke to get playing time.
You could always swap him off.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sort of my mindset. If it's gonna go completely south with these three youngsters up front, change it.
Yeah, no,
I should always change it.
I would rather that than bringing on Mudryk in a game where we're chasing an equaliser, or we're behind significantly by 1 or 2 goals, and you're throwing him in with 15 minutes to go, expecting him to do something, and then pointing fingers at him saying you did nothing in that game. I would rather him start. And like you said, build his momentum, get into the game from the start of the game, see how he impacts it. And then, if he's rubbish, second half, bring him off and bring on our experience and someone that we know we can rely on. But if we don't start them, we will never know, and they will never learn. It's all about now. I don't want it to get to a point where we're coming into playing, having that run of, I think they're calling it the run of death or something, where we're playing Man City, Arsenal, Man United, Brighton, etc., and then starting them there or bringing them in.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I think mentally it's going to boost them so much as well. Hearing and, whatever they're doing, the meeting before the game, saying, oh, okay, shit, I'm starting today. Rather than, because like you said, Sterling, you would expect him to actually step up and deliver when it's needed, whether Mudryk is not able to do that because he's lacking confidence, he's lacking consistency, and I very, very, very much agree with you that start them, and then if it goes south, it goes south, and then but it's a game like this, I would prefer to see these changes.
Yeah, I think even though this is our ideal kind of, front three, I think that isn't the front three that we'll see realistically. I don't think we'll start Sterling, and then I think we do have conversations about kind of Mudryk, because I'm still going to back him until the very end. I'm never going to point and, say Mudryk is crap, because he comes on to chase leads and to settle into games where we're playing low blocks. How do you break down a block if you've barely played, in this team? You haven't got the chemistry to make those, forward passes or create passages, because you don't have the cohesion with the rest of your team, and you're coming into such a hostile game. How on earth are you supposed to make that impact? But I think Sterling probably does start. But guys, let us know your thoughts, who you're choosing and snoozing there in those on our left and right flank. And yeah, let us know as well if you disagree with any of our decisions. And of course, you know, like, subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV. Let us know if you've enjoyed doing this. Obviously, it's been very experimental, and I'm sure we'll tidy this up and maybe, you know, get the players up so we can see it and kind of look at the formations and etc. etc. But yeah, let us know your thoughts. Check out our social medias, our personal channels. Michelle, is there anything you would like to add?
I don't know if it's a little bit off topic, but the Legends game is today.
It is today.
We're going to stream it.
They are streaming it, but you have to pay £6 on the Fifth Stand app to watch it, which is for charity. So I get like the calls and stuff.
Okay. Okay, but you can only watch them in the app.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Well, I might actually watch it.
I know. I'm
a few players that I've missed to look at.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a fantastic game, and if you're going, guys, enjoy. But yeah, I think that's a great way to kind of round it out. Feeling a little bit more uplifted, positive, guys. We hope that you are. We hope. And back 3 points against Bournemouth away as well. We did it last season in a season full of horrors. Let's do it in a season where we're looking to get better. And yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Thank you very much for watching.
Cheers. Bye.